Oh my goodness, y'all, how embarrassing and how frustrating. My shop has become so junked up that I can hardly work in it and make some cool content and projects that we need to make for the channel. So that's what this episode's about. I caught some heavy duty racks on a killer sale from Lowe's, got a bunch of totes for dirt cheap as well. Got all that stuff delivered, and we're about to tear this shop apart because I have so many cool projects planned, welding projects and everything else, that I want to start on as soon as next week, and I just don't even have a workspace to work in. My shop has become so junky because we've did so much on the channel. You know how it is. You'll work on a big project, you'll put a few things over here, I'll come out and get it. Work on another project, put a few things over here, I'll come out and get it. And before you know it, all your project's junk and leftovers and tools is piled up everywhere. And if there's one thing I have always thought in my life, a junky shop equals a junky mind, and I can't focus on my project. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna borrow Tiffany's little printer right here that she has. It's a label maker. It just connects up to your phone, you download the app, and I wanna do nice clean labels out here so I know what's in my boxes. For example, the next one I'm gonna put up is cleaning supplies. So I'll just center that up in the little stick-on labels that it prints out, and I'll print it. Check this out. Just that quick, a little stick-on label comes out. Technology is so cool. All right, tear that off. All right, then come over here and stick it on and repeat. Oh, it's gonna be so nice. And I decided to do 3 instead of 4 racks on this one here because I want to be able to keep my pressure washer in here. And I'm probably gonna move my big generator over here as well. Now, I must admit, this is the one area that has drove me mad. What a disgusting disaster. It just keeps growing out on him. Paint cans, paint supplies, oil changing supplies, grease, all that stuff. I cannot wait to get this organized right here. A mess. I'll admit, I underestimated how long this job was gonna take and how much crap I have in this building. I'm extremely embarrassed. I don't even want to show you all this, but you've already seen on the fast forward footage. Let me show you everything I tore off of just this back wall. Look at this shop. Look at this shop. Oh my goodness. That is a bit ridiculous. So the racks, well, they go together okay. It's time consuming. This one fought me for some weird reason. Something's out of whack. These two went up great. That one went up just fine. Now, well, we got to just keep doing the tedious process of packing and labeling and getting stuff set up. The other thing that I've got to figure out now is, now that I have 3 racks over here, the stuff that I'm not going to use very often, well, we'll put down there on that rack. I need to really think about what I want and where. Now, because this bay right here, once I get all this out of the way, is where I'm gonna do services and oil changes. Obviously, I think I want my oil and filter changes and stuff like that to go on this rack and on the bottom. The next most used stuff will kind of go on up here in that one, and then my least used stuff, or stuff that's just, you know, seasonal, will get down there out of the way. But all this, I'm planning on all this vanishing. I've also got to keep in mind, really heavy totes need to probably go on the very bottom. So I'm certain I'm gonna be doing some rearranging here. Plus, sadly, I can only get 3 totes per rack, and I'm still left with some space, but that's okay. We can put bottles and other things up here that I did not put in a tote. And I'm tempted to go back to Lowe's and they make a smaller tote, smaller version of these that I can put on the ends, because some of my stuff I don't need but a tote this big. There's no point in filling up a huge tote, wasting the room just for a specific type of product going in there. All right, after 4 days, shame on me, we now have a presentable shop that we can actually get some work done in. And I would love to say this is it, but I've still got so much more organizing and cleaning up ahead of me, but at least my workspace is ready to go now. All right, y'all, the before and after is dramatic. I've got a lot more walkway, workroom now, stuff put up like my scaffolding. It's got a location, keep it out of the weather. My welder can get against the wall now. I've got plenty of room to move my big welding table around and carry it out toward the door if I want to. And look at this, I actually have a bench back now. So in the future, I want to go get a bunch of clear totes. I've completely run out of totes. 30 totes I have filled up. I ordered 30 from Lowe's because they were on sale, and I thought, man, I'm ordering way too many, but it's always nice to have some spare totes. Oh, I used every single one of them, and I need about 2 more. So since a lot of this stuff is miscellaneous, some stuff's labeled, what I want to do in the future is just put a bunch of clear totes here, and I might even put some wood doors on here to make it look better. But I like clear totes for miscellaneous stuff because you can kind of look in and eyeball what it is. But everything, I pretty much know where it's at now. I got some hand tools in there, my daily use stuff in there like string lines and chalk lines, well, project use stuff. An actual workbench back, oh, that's just been cluttered up way too long. Look at this, holy smokes. It's like I just added on to the shop. I can actually pull in here now and do some work on the car lift. I've got that entire bay opened up over there. You remember how junky that was before? Like I couldn't even use from this far back. Couldn't even hardly access the door over there. And of course, the star of the show, everything is nice and labeled. And I tried to set it up to where I knew it would be my high use items. So all my oil lube, things like that, well, it makes sense for it to be right in front of the bay with the lift in it. sandpaper, caulks, glues, ropes, chains. Oh man, all kinds of stuff. There's all my oil filters, oil lube stuff, and then of course my big bulk oil and vehicle maintenance stuff. Love it. Whole paint section over here. All the way from my airless paint sprayer, paint supplies, spray paints. You get the idea. Electrical, this is a pile of electrical right here. All my plumbing stuff over here, garden stuff, animal stuff. It's awesome. And I decided to take some lower racks out of this one and that one. Got my generators and pressure washer over there. Some tools right here, so that gave me the clearance that I needed. By the way, some of this stuff's getting out of here. That's Christmas gifts I'm storing for a friend so his kids don't find this stuff. Now I've got a spot to put my stand-up tools like my metal cutting saw, wood cutting saw, table saw. This is awesome. So let's take a little gander upstairs here, and you should be able to quickly see how much more organized we are and how much more room we have to do some work in here. We've got a real shop now. Really happy with this section too. Getting my generator stage, cords, things like that, pool supply stuff, so because I'm constantly coming in needing that stuff. Got my equipment out of the weather, so whenever we have a hurricane or an outage, I can literally just roll the door up, quick, easy access. I don't have to dig generators out. This is the way it always should have been. Now, like I said, we're far from over. Upstairs, a disaster up there. Mostly boxes and some other stuff, some old wood I got to go through. Upstairs, a disaster. Mostly boxes. Got to go through those as well. Problem is, a lot of the stuff has several year warranties and they like for you to keep the box. So I wind up with just a crazy amount of boxes. All right, I know this was an odd video, y'all. 4 days of my life was just dedicated to gutting this shop, hauling stuff off. But all this needed to be done so I can get back to making you the content you want. You see the big sheets of steel on the floor? Well, we've got 2 major projects coming up for those. We got a lot of work to go do at the other property, some more things to build and create in here. And there was no way I could do it because my mind was so cluttered because of all the clutter. This absolutely needed to happen no matter how many days it took. I needed to get this cleaned up so when I walked in here, I felt creative, not overwhelmed, if you know what I mean. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Looking forward to sharing some of the cool upcoming projects we're about to make in the shop.